Shalom! I keep on asking you to send us emails with your comments and ideas regarding the program. So now, I think it's about time that we read to you some of the beautiful comments we've received. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Hi. Summer vacation is coming to an end, and the children are going back to school. Well, actually, like every year, today, 4 days before schools are supposed to open, we still don't know whether there will be a strike, or perhaps for a change, school will start on time. Naturally, the kids are looking forward to the strike, and on the other hand, the parents, exhausted from the summer vacation, are praying they'll be able to send the children off to school on time. We're also happy to have the viewers on Manhattan's Time Warner Cable, Channel 35, joining our viewing audience. We hope you all enjoy our weekly program, and you too are of course invited to come visit Israel. Let's get started. I am, you can say, a cartoon and comic book fan. When I heard of the special festival, which took place at the Tel Aviv Cinematheque, I knew I had to pay them a visit. Here's what I saw.
The third annual Comics and Animation Festival took place in the Tel Aviv Cinematheque. The field of comics is well known in America. There are comic books in most newspaper stands, Sunday comics, and more. In Israel, except for political comics and caricatures, the field of comics is only in its first stages, and the organizers of the festival told me that the amounts of people arriving to the festival can indicate that the love for comics and animation is spreading throughout the country.
Well, compared to the same festival last year, there are several degrees more of people. I mean, we're not talking more or less the same. It's insane. I mean, there are tons of people here.
This year, I think the festival has grown much bigger.
And people are very, very interested. It's a good thing.
New and old comic books were sold throughout the festival, and animation movies were played. The visitors participated in a comics drawing workshop and built cartoon characters from plasticine. Some of the participants actually created short animated films. I asked the organizers and participants to explain to me what is unique about the art of comics.
I think a comic book is a good way to express yourself and your opinions.
It's a method of storytelling. It's graphic, along with the written word. It's a combination of the picture with the word.
Telling story with pictures can express yourself to even people who can't read or don't read your language.
I think I'm lucky to do the thing I love most, and to love the things I do, which I think is very important for a human being. And since I was very young, that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I decided to do, at least when I grew up.
Comics relate to many topics. Comics are a medium, just like books and movies are. Comics are as well.
You belong to the society, but you put yourself apart and have a special look on it. Sometimes you can be cynical, sometimes you can be simply funny, but you must criticize things. You must emphasize, you must exaggerate the reality, which is himself sometimes very exaggerated.
I also asked about the situation of the comics, cartoon, and animation industry in Israel.
Comics in Israel is not a very big industry here. We have a little, I think, 3 or 4 creators of comics in Israel. But this is a start.
The comic situation in Israel is a lot better than it used to be when I was a kid, when I was starting out. I remember I had teachers and any adult that saw me collecting comics would snicker and laugh. Nowadays you see hundreds of kids collecting them, literally.
The visitors even participated in an hour-long lecture of the history and heritage of one of the famous comic book series, the X-Men. One of the exhibits in the festival was organized by the JNF, the Jewish National Fund, which took several cartoonists on a tour through nature, after which they illustrated cartoons inspired by their tour.
We were told stories about foresting, about trees and so on, and then we had, free hand to do whatever we wanted and to make a little funny about forest and about JNF itself.
Here we have an arts and crafts workshop with material from nature, like pieces of wood and pine cones.
I myself couldn't leave the festival without drawing a little on a big cartoon story which was drawn on by visitors to the festival frame by frame.
So, why did you come to Israel?
To be with my family and to help support Israel.
Okay, like I mentioned in the beginning, your email. So let's start reading what we've got here. Mary Levine wrote, "Beautiful, once ain't enough to see it." Mike Fuhrer from Silver Spring, Maryland wrote, "Yoni, I really like your new video segments. I look forward to one each week." Richard Chetner from Canada wrote, "Shalom Yoni, kol hakavod for the program that you're working on. I think the time is right for this type of program, and I find it very inspiring as a Jew who is striving to make Aliyah, to immigrate to Israel. Keep it going, and I'll do my best to tell people to watch your program. May Hashem bless you for your hard work and commitment." Thank you very much, Richard. We look forward to seeing you making Aliyah, immigrating to Israel. Derek Sacker and the rest of the Sacker family, Dara, Netanel, and Nadivya wrote, "Shalom Yoni, just wanted to mention how impressed we are with Israeli salad. Your program draws a diverse interest of subjects. We have moved from Beit Shemesh to New Jersey for 3 years. We hope to come back out in 3 years. A few weeks ago, 14 families from our town alone made Aliyah with Nefesh B'Nefesh." Moshe Feldman from Orlando, Florida wrote, "Your program is great. I always look forward to Thursday. I like how you always include music, people, and Yahadut. Keep up with the good work." Thank you, Moshe. And I saved the best for last. Rivka Ebert from Chicago, where our very own Mark Kaplan is from, wrote, "Hey Yoni, I'm writing to tell you that I love your show on Israel National News. It's very interesting. It makes me want to come to Israel and listen to this. I've never been there, but I plan to because it looks amazing. So thank you for inspiring me to want to come. I really enjoy your show. Keep up with the good work." Thank you everyone for your emails, and we look forward to getting many more emails from all of you. We'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
What does the Western Wall mean to you?
Well, the Kotel to me is very moving. I mean, just as a Jew, it's just amazing to see the history that was with the Jewish people over 2,000 years ago and is still remaining today. It's just a very holy place to me. This is my 3rd time coming, and no matter how many times I'm going to come, it's still going to be just as amazing as the first time I was here.
And now for a report on Jewish rock. Now when I say Jewish rock, I don't mean the diamond. We'll leave that story for another time. I mean Jewish rock.
Can the Jews rock? To find the answer to that question, I went to visit some of the leading performers in the Jewish rock arena.
We do a lot of Jewish stuff, but not exactly like klezmer's thing. Our thing is like to put in like new styles with Jewish stuff, like reggae. We do a lot of reggae, and we do like, rock and roll and ethnic music.
We play some rock music with element of a little bit oriental music and a little bit pop. That is the music.
I'm a Levi. I'm a Levi from the tribe of the Levis. That's the most important thing. That's why my dream is to play in the holy temple at Beis Hamikdash. It's mamish, my deepest dream and my deepest goal in life.
So, what is Jewish rock? For me, Jewish rock is music that is combined with ideals from the original text, talking about faith, prayer, Jerusalem, Judaism, and the love of human beings.
the Hasidic masters like Rabbi Nachman and Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach started a whole new thing, like putting in the Jewish experience, not only like making, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe, spreading out the music to the people, getting Judaism to out there, out there. And our generation needs a lot of colors. It needs excitement. It needs depth. It needs a lot of beauty,
Another thing that is special about this field of music is that, as opposed to classic Hasidic songs, many of the Jewish rock song lyrics are original and are written by the artists. We write our own lyrics and hardly ever take text right out of the scriptures, but rather are inspired by the original text and combine it with our own feelings and experiences.
We want to continue to perform and to be very big in Israel and even in the United States. Yeah, we want to perform in the United States.
Many of us became observant Jews throughout the years. When a person becomes an Orthodox Jew, he should not put aside what he used to be. We take our style and music and use it for a Jewish purpose. So instead of asking, can the Jews rock, you should ask, can anyone rock like the Jews?
The thing is that Hashem tells us that we could mamish avodas Hashem. You could b'chol drachecha da'eu. You could work him with everywhere, like in music. Rock and roll is not in this is inevitably un-Jewish. It could be Jewish if it comes from a Jewish soul. Closer to God, closer to Hashem, closer to Kodesh Baruch Hu. It is Jewish music. That's Jewish music. It takes a Jew closer to Hashem.
A few programs ago, we spoke with Rabbi Samson about the kippah that we wear on our heads. Everyone can see the kippah. It's not concealed. This week, I'd like to understand the tzitzit. Tzitzit is an article of clothing which is concealed under our shirts. Rabbi Samson joins me from Jerusalem. So, what is the meaning of the tzitzit, Rabbi Samson?
Shalom, Yoni. Shalom to all of our listeners and watchers around the world. And when you ask about tzitzit, and you say that it's more concealed than a kippah, I have to again mention Rabbi Kook and his attitude towards the tzitzit. He was very vehement about the tzitzit being not tucked in your pants, but being put outside and being shown. It's also found in the Mishnah Brura, and the Chafetz Chaim also says an interesting example. And he says that if the king gives a warrior a medallion, he should wear it on the outside of his uniform. And if the warrior takes the medallion of the king and he tucks it in his pants so nobody will see, so instead of being an honorable medallion, he is actually bashing and abasing the king who is giving him this honorary medallion. In such a way, Rabbi Kook said that the tzitziot are a gift denoting the special clothing and the special garb of a Jew, and they should not be tucked inside your pants. Now, regarding what it is exactly, just like soldiers have their own specific uniforms, and doctors and nurses, and the different people have their own uniforms, so a Jew has a uniform. And at one time, the uniform was really very beautiful, and it included a blue thread, which was also very precious. Not like today that everyone has blue Levi's, and blue is a very common color, but at the time when the Torah was given and throughout history, blue was a very special color, and it was a sign of aristocracy, and during certain periods, only kings were allowed to wear a royal blue. So the Jews wearing this royal blue thread on their garments are actually showing that we are a kingly people. The idea of the garb is so that a Jew should be constantly involved and enveloped in the mitzvot. And that's why on the four corners of the garb are four different fringes, and that each fringe has 5 knots. Each one of the 5 knots is to remind the Jew of the 5 different parts of the Chumash. There are also 8 strings, and the 8 strings are to remember the 8th level. 7 is this world, like the 7 days of the week. 8 is something that's a little above the regular 7. And this is to remind us that there's something a little above the regular day-to-day living.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Samson. In the background, we can hear Aharon Razel's song, Mizmor LeDavid. Before we end, let's hear how Aharon explained to me why he was so excited to be on Israeli Salad.
My dream was always to be famous and to be talked like in the radio, to see on television. I made a bet with my best friend that I'll be on TV. Now he owes me a ticket to the Mets game, So let's kick in the show, yeah?
Join us again next week. Until then, from all of us here at Israel National News, Shalom.
שובב ינחני במגל צל למען שמו גם כי אלך בגצל מוות לא יירא כי אתה עמדי שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחנו נפטרו לפני שולחן נגד צוררי בשמן ראשי כוסי לוויה